I need some Henny in the plan B.
Bitch, I need some Henny in the plan B. Bitch, I need some Henny.
Hey Trap Tribe,
That's
it's
me.
Ashley of Trap Free Love, and today I have a question for you. What is something that you consider ratchet or ghetto? Being a person of color, I wonder how white people view me.
Good morning, class. Today we are going to be talking about our favorite authors. So Ashley, who is your favorite author? Kurt Vonnegut. Maya Angelou? Oh, that's a good one. I said Kurt Vonnegut, not Maya Angelou. I said Kurt Vonnegut. Trust me. It's
Being a woman, I wonder how men view me.
Oh, so you're a fan of Attack on Titan 2? Name 3 characters.
Being a woman of color, I wonder how women of color view me. And also, being a woman of color, I wonder how white women view me. But the number one critique that I get from other black women, which is super weird to me, is that I'm bougie. Just like super weird because I do a lot of shit that a lot of people consider ghetto. Like my nails are long as fuck. I drink 40s. I cuss like a sailor. So that leads me to the topic of this video. Who gets to decide what is bougie, what is ghetto, and is there anything inherently wrong with being bougie or ghetto? And can you be proud of it? So keep watching. So I was scrolling on TikTok and I came across a TikTok by the rapper Sukihana.
And Suki, I'm 14, and bitch, I love to fight. We love fighting bitches around here, don't we? Bitch, what's up? Pussy ass.
I'm not a big Sukihana fan because I don't watch like Love and Hip Hop anymore. I'm familiar with like the older seasons, but I know she's big on Love and Hip Hop right now, and also I'm not a big fan of hypersexual rap music. However, there is something about Sukihana that I was just instantly like intrigued about. I love the way that Sukihana is like really silly in like an Amanda Show type gross way, and I love how Sukihana looks. Like one thing about the internet nowadays, a lot of black women like in real life don't look like fucking black versions of Kardashians, and that's all that we see as beauty. Honestly, I think that Sukihana is so beautiful. I don't know. I love how like she's short, but still like, you know, you can tell she's had a BBL and shit. But I think she's just really good looking. And I also love the tiger on her face. It's definitely giving danger vibes. Do y'all remember that dumb shit?
Wow. Danger! She smashed the homies.
Danger! She smashed the homies. Danger! She smashed the homies. Danger! She smashed the homies. Danger!
Don't ask for the comments. Don't ever ask me how I feel about Ray J either. Don't ask me about T.I. and don't ask me about Ray J. But I just think it's really important and really good to see women that are black that they're not always considered beautiful because of their white features. And I just want to say this too. I do know the reason that a lot of people consider me fine is because I do have a lot of white features, but I definitely think there is a big problem with that in the black community. I talk more about it in this video. I'm going to link it somewhere around here. But I think it's really important that we see a lot of black people that don't look very close to white and that are still profitable and just definitely black and proud. I definitely love that that is happening now. The other thing, and you know, too, even with like body types, because as much as we talk about Lizzo being the fattest bitch we've ever seen, a lot of y'all have family members and know a lot of bitches that are bigger than Lizzo or the same size as Lizzo. So getting off topic. Let's reel this back in. But in this video, I'm going to talk a lot about Sukihana. Not all about Sukihana, but mostly talk about Sukihana's presence in media right now. That being said, as I was researching Sukihana, I had to have an open mind. So this is my thesis for this whole video. I think Sukihana is absolutely good for black culture. Chapter 1. Who is Sukihana? Sukihana is an American actress, TV personality, and rapper. She was born and raised in Wilmington, Delaware, and she attended art school in Atlanta before she moved to Miami, where she gained a huge following. She rose to fame as one of the main cast members of Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 3. Sukihana is very controversial. From her image to her name, Sukihana is an entertainer that is always pushing the envelope when it comes to putting it all out there. You thought Meg Thee Stallion was a lot. She has nothing on Sukihana. But as I started doing my research on Sukihana, I realized that I was not as outraged at a lot of the controversial shit that a lot of people were outraged about. Being a Black woman, I have a different view on things. I have a different perspective on how I view media from how a man would, how a Black man would, or how a white woman would. Women like Sukihana, Meg Thee Stallion, or whoever the fuck, why are they so mesmerizing to Black women? Like, what is this? How Black women view media is dependent on their perspective in life. This in feminist theory is referred to as gaze. We are conditioned to view women certain ways, and Black women are conditioned to be viewed by Black men in certain ways. And in feminist theory, this theory gets very complicated and very deep. So bear with me on how I try to break this down. Chapter 2, the Black male gaze. So before we talk about the Black male gaze, we have to talk about gazes in media. According to feminist theory, there are several ways that people that consume art view the world. The male gaze is the act of depicting women in the world, in art and in literature, from a masculine, cisgendered, heterosexual perspective that presents and represents women as sexual objects for the pleasure of the heterosexual male viewer. The male gaze is this video game having Catwoman walk in front of Batman sexily. Almost every female character in nerd culture ever. Almost every female character in every movie ever. Even the ones that aren't human. Why did we need a sexy squirrel? So let's talk a little bit about the Black male gaze. Black men are able to identify with socialized superiority, and their influence shapes how Black women are portrayed in media. According to bell hooks, Black men can enter an imaginative space when watching films of phallocentric power that mediated racial negation, allowing them to identify with and fail to deconstruct the masculinity regardless of them not being one. So I don't need to tell you that male gazes in media is kind of fucked up because it perpetuates stereotypes against women and Black women. In film, Black women are either the mammy, a servant to whomever the main character is, whether it's her son, her husband, or her white owners. She's the Jezebel, the prostitute, or the female eunuch. Y'all remember the movie Straight Outta Compton? Well, this is a prime example of how the Black male gaze perpetuates harmful stereotypes of Black women. When casting the movie, 3 types of women were invited out to audition. The A girls, they were listed as the hottest of the hottest, who could be of any ethnicity. The B girls as light-skinned, and the D girls as African American women who were poor, in bad shape, and with medium to dark skin tone.
Dear Coon, on behalf of Dr.
This is a direct example of how media can condition Black men and how their views are put out in the world. So what gaze do Black women have when we're watching media? How do we look at this shit? Well, according to bell hooks, until we are truly represented as we are, we don't have one. This is known as the oppositional gaze. This is a term coined by bell hooks in her 1992 essay, Black Looks, Race, and Representation. I'm just going to be honest, the only Black women characters that I think have truly depicted Black womanhood and Black women as we are was Issa Rae with Insecure. For Issa Rae, Black women were written as this and this, or when they were written by Black men, they were written as this or this. Let's talk about Shanae for a second. Shanae was a regular character on Martin Lawrence's sitcom, Martin. She was played by Martin and was basically a character that poked fun at Black women. The hood rat is still a trope that is prevalent in Black media, including social media. But let's remember, Shanae was a single woman. She had her own shit. She was a small business owner, but because she's big, Black, loud, and ugly, she's completely opposite from Gina. So she's seen as more masculine. She is seen as, you know, her pain is kind of a joke, but that's a problem. When Black women are presented this way as masculine, ghetto, and unfeminine, it dehumanizes Black women. It sends an underlying message that our pain is a joke and not to be taken seriously. We're depicted as masculine, so we don't deserve a man and we'll die alone. This ideology also leads to those crazy statistics that show that Black women are more likely than any other category to experience domestic violence. Media like this is also harmful because guess what? Time has shown that it has created legroom for white people to get in on the joke, getting rich and gaining popularity. Now, this leads to our favorite topic, cultural appropriation. Chapter 3, Cultural Appropriation. Cultural appropriation takes place when members of a majority group adopt cultural elements of a minority group in an exploitative, disrespectful, or stereotypical way. There is a difference between appropriating something and appreciating something. A perfect example of this is in the Atlanta episode, White Fashion. Lakeith Stanfield's character Darius is befriended by a white woman named Karen. And I'm sorry, her name should have been a red flag to Darius right then and there, and that is not racist. History has taught African Americans to be extra careful around white women. And if I were to rank white women on who I am most likely to trust, women named Karen would be at the very bottom of that list, only slightly ahead of white women with dreadlocks. And we all saw how that turned out for Edmund. So Darius takes Karen to an authentic Nigerian restaurant, and Karen is fascinated by the place, like a kid in a candy store fascinated. And I honestly didn't see this coming, but some time passes and Darius tries to come back to the restaurant. He finds out that it's shut down. It was purchased by Karen, who is happening to be on a food truck outside of the place and is selling the same Nigerian food that she was introduced to. Am I the only one that notices that anytime people appropriate other cultures' foods, they always gotta throw it in a bowl? Like, y'all just love eating shit out of bowls. But this is the shit that the internet gets very upset about. When a member of a majority group starts really benefiting financially from the regular ass culture of a minority group. Like when Madonna stole voguing from the gay ballroom scene and made millions. Or when Charlie D'Amelio stole the renegade dance from Julia Harmon and made millions. Or when the Toros run the championship with Burr, It's Cold in Here. Or when white people believe that Kim Kardashian invented cornrows and she renamed them boxer braids. There's also the issue of when other groups appropriate cultures, they don't experience the same backlash as other people do. For example, white people in dreadlocks. But that same hairstyle could cause another Black person to not be considered for a job. Let's not even talk about Black sounding names. Like, there have been studies on top of studies and investigative reports that have showed that if you have a Black sounding name, you are less likely to get a job. But white people can name their kids like Thistledew and Apple and shit, and they can go on and start a company. Or the same culture and style that Black women have been called ghetto and you're the reason why we can't advance, turns into the reason why white influencers are rich as fuck right now and are considered trendsetters. And this leads me back to Sukihana.
I just know what I be doing. Like, honestly, I'm just opening doors for women, chocolate girls. Because one thing about this industry, you're going to experience colorism. And I'm just like opening doors for women like me, you know, the baby mamas, the mothers, the women in the hood. Like that's who I speak for. Everybody that's in the hood, honestly. So
in this interview by Breakbeat Media, the interviewer tries desperately to embarrass Sukihana by poking fun at her name, her lyrics, and she recognizes it. And just look how the interview goes. When I first saw this interview, I thought that she was going to be like really dumb, like play that really dumb like Nicki Minaj baby sounding voice shit. But instead, she gives off this energy that I am so familiar with that I sometimes give off. That's that play with your kids and not with me type energy. And it really started changing my view of Sukihana. Like, the shit that she was saying was kind of crazy, but just her essence, literally you can see the interviewer go from, I'm going to try to embarrass you, to like genuinely looking scared. So this next question is truly a loaded one to try to get a laugh off of her. The intent is to embarrass her off of an old photo because she made a lyric about someone wearing a stiff-ass wig.
You got a new song, The Freestyle? And one of the lines is, your baby mama mad with that stiff-ass wig. How do you feel about stiff wigs?
I mean, so my thing is, it be a lot of hoes that be hating on me. That's because I'm a trio bitch. You feel me? I'm real trio out here. The guys, they love me. I can't help it. You see how I came out here, they couldn't stop clapping. That's something that's natural for me. So that's why I said it. Your baby mama mad with that stiff ass wig.
So how do you feel about stiff wigs? They bad?
I mean, it's stiff. Like, what you put blue grease in it? Why your hair
So
stiff?
is this a stiff wig?
Yeah, I was stiff at that time. So that's one thing about it is real recognize real. And let me tell you something.
Suki?
Yeah, I was stiff at that time, and I was.
So are you the baby mama mad with the stiff
I
ass
was
wig?
mad.
Or
I was mad. So that's why I can call out a bitch. You with that stiff ass wig. How I'm not gonna be able to call it out if I wasn't there? I was there. The bang was stiff. The bang yang. But you see how I'm coming in? Yeah, very green, supreme.
Yeah.
Feeling like the Incredible Hulk.
So
the fuck? Cause you thought you was gonna pull up a picture. Oh, was this stiff?
No.
You thought you tried it. It was stiff. You thought I wasn't gonna be no humble bitch. You thought a bitch was gonna be mad. Look, it was stiff at that time. I ain't had no money, shit. But these bitches be mad about this cat. They do with them stiff ass wigs. Like I said, make them pay for your hair. It ain't tricking if you got it. The fuck?
The blue grease is hilarious to me because all black women know that that is the heaviest shit that you can put in your hair. Like, if somebody had blue grease on the Titanic, that would not be the historical catastrophe that we know today. And she goes on to give the most hilarious black history lesson that is actually, like, as funny as it is, it's really funny. And the way that she brings up Egyptians and Moors actually kind of tells you that she is really fucking smart. Like, that is not a lot of shit that a lot of people know about. So Sukihana needs a show. Honestly, she needs a show. Like, you know how we have drunk history? We need Sukihana history. I need that.
Line of tricks and hoes. Yes, what's the eyebrow thing? I come from a long line of hoes. I'm not the first one, maybe in this generation, but it go all the way back to slavery time. And before then, with the Egyptians and the Moors. A long line of selling pussy. I'm not the first one. My auntie, my mama don't like me saying her name in my interviews. Grandmama, great-grandmama, great-great-great.
But I would just like to say, and just kind of like get to the point, instead of being embarrassed about what she's saying, who she is, and the type of character that she plays, she embraces it and she has capitalized off of it. And I feel like that is necessary. I would rather see a lot more Sukihanas capitalizing off of black culture and being black than what we have right now and what a lot of these other people are getting rich and famous off of when they haven't done shit but stolen it. I honestly believe whether people call you ghetto, bougie, or stank, Sukihana is a great example of how you can always just take your power back. Like, you're gonna call her whatever, so she might as well embrace it, take her power back, and she makes money off of it. Is she a role model for kids or any type of shit like that? No. I think that people really need to understand that there's a difference between the characters that people play and real life. Like, I don't believe that Ice Cube was shooting people with his AK back in the day. So, like, is she a role model? No, that's not the point of this video. I do say that I believe that Sukihana is good for black culture. Not only are we taking that narrative back from white people, I think it is something very powerful and beautiful in the way that it shifts the narrative away from it being a joke. Like, the interviewer was trying to make her out to be a joke, and she was not having it. And I just think that is super likable. And dare I say, maybe, yeah, a role model for black women. And, like, for instance, like, for too long have people been like, oh, you're bougie, oh, you're ghetto. But if you carry yourself in a way where people can't fuck with that, people won't fuck with that. Like, for instance, I have a lot of white friends, but how I carry myself, none of them have been ever comfortable with microaggressions and saying nigga around me. So I definitely think that Sukihana has that same type of energy. So my question to you guys are, what do you think? Leave a comment below, and I am going to leave it there, guys. Please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe so this YouTube thing can blow up and I can make longer and better videos. All right, guys, but thanks for watching. Bye.